like making lattes and drinks like that at home. I think it's a lot of fun, and it's nice to be able to make something that is a little more exciting than coffee at your own house without having to go out and spend money. So, for this pumpkin spice latte, I use 2 cups of milk, whole milk, to get that full flavor. And I'm actually making a double batch because I have more people in my family. I have 5. So anyways, you put 4 cups, 2 cups if it's just for 2 people, just do 2. And then what you want to do is simmer it. Just put it over, on my stove it's 4, the setting's 4. So it's like a medium high, and just want to let that simmer. Start to simmer. So what I like to use in mine is some fresh ginger, and easiest way to get ginger. I'm just gonna let it infuse the milk. It's not going to be in the final latte. It's just going to be in there, giving it some flavor. And I just use a spoon to kind of peel it. It's just easier, a lot easier than cleaning a potato peeler, I think. I freeze fresh ginger because I don't use fresh ginger a whole lot. If I'm doing a lot of Asian cooking and, stir fries and teas, I use it in a lot of teas in the wintertime. And I use a 1/4 teaspoon of cloves because clove is really fragrant, very strong, and you just want a subtle hint of clove. You don't want a whole lot. So a little bit of clove, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. I love nutmeg. It's one of my favorites. It reminds me of Orange Julius when they sprinkle the nutmeg on the top of the orange smoothie. And then cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. It seems like a lot, but it melts down a little bit, and that's the flavor that you're going for. Is the pumpkin spice. I'm sure that you could use the pumpkin spice seasoning that comes all together. It's all spice, ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg, all that already mixed together. So if you experimented with that, you could probably get the same flavor. I also use vanilla beans. I use the shells in my sugar. I have a little article about that on my blog. But after I've scraped up the vanilla bean, I always save the shell and I put it in a jar of sugar, and it makes the sugar taste so good. It just is infused with vanilla, and it's really, really good for baking and for lattes and stuff like that. So these have been in my jar for a while, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to stick those in the pot too. And they'll infuse a little vanilla flavor. You could also use, I'll turn that up a little, you could also use vanilla extract, pure vanilla extract. And then you just want to stir it up a little, and then raise your heat. You want to bring it to a boil, and it'll get real foamy. And then what you're going to want to do is watch it so it doesn't boil over. This is the trickier part. So keep an eye on that. In the meantime, I'm going to make some whipped cream, some fresh whipped cream, because it's so much better, I think. And it's easy to make. It doesn't take that much longer than taking off that lid that they have sealed on there and using some whipped cream. So a cup of heavy cream. Just going to use a pinch of salt. I like to use my hand mixer because I think it's faster, and you don't have to whip out the big heavy duty mixer. Now once it starts to thicken up a little bit, you can see it's starting to thicken up a little bit, that's when you want to put in a teaspoon of vanilla. This is a brand new vanilla. So a teaspoon vanilla. And then put your salt in there. And then I like to just put maybe a half teaspoon of sugar, maybe a little more, just to sweeten it up. A little bit sweeter because the pumpkin latte isn't very sweet. It's very pumpkin pie tasting. And then you don't have to beat it for very long. You can tell it's pretty well beaten. What you're gonna need is either a strong cup of coffee or a few shots of espresso. Now, once you've got your espresso ready to go, just want to fill with some coffee. Take out the ginger because that's not going to taste good in your cup. You want to add some whipped cream. Oh my gosh, it smells like pumpkin pie. I love making these in the fall. A little bit of cinnamon. Tastes like a pumpkin spice latte. So there you go. Pumpkin spice latte.